Hello viewers, welcome to Kboxtv. Thank you for always making time to watch us here on Kboxtv. Today I'm here with another boxer who is based all the way in the UK, making his nation proud and putting other boxers on as a promoter too as well. Guys, in 30 minutes we'll get to digest who Lee Kellett is, and then definitely he'll put up his handles and how you want to get in touch with him, especially if you're a boxer. And even if you want to challenge him, there's one guy I know who never turns down a challenge. So guys, welcome on the show, Lee Kellett. Lee, welcome to Kboxtv.
Hi, thank you.
Lee, I'll first take it from, what made you become a boxer. And from there, we'll talk about coronavirus because I know it has affected you personally,
Yeah.
your family, and then we'll talk about the show that couldn't happen in Aberdeen because it was something we're all looking forward to. I remember I even wrote about it on Kboxtv. I saw the post on your wall and I realized how disappointed you were, especially. We'll get into that too as well. And then we'll talk about, the future with Barrow Boxing Promotions, because apart from you being a boxer, you are also a promoter. I've seen the last footage of the shows and the Ghanaians that were on the show. And of course, I've also had the opportunity of having Callum Pearson on the show, and he's also talked highly of you as well. So guys, these are the things that we'll get to know about Lee Kellett in about 28 minutes. All right, so Lee, what made you choose to become a boxer?
I watched Mike Tyson versus Frank Bruno and decided I wanted to be a boxer. So I went down. I think I started about 11 years old. So that was like 30 years ago, maybe 31 years ago now. And when I first started, I just wanted to fight. I didn't like the training. It was too hard. And my old coach, Peter Skirm, God rest in peace, Pete's passed away now, always used to tell me, unless I trained, I couldn't fight. I used to pester him all the time. Let me box. He said, unless you train, unless you come down and train properly, you're not fighting. And he was strict. Man, I must have gone down I went down for years and wouldn't train. And it was about 13, 14 when I had my first fight. I finally did as I was told and turned up and did some training.
Great. So, Mike Tyson and then Frank Bruno, what did you learn from that fight that motivated you to want to be a boxer? What exactly was it?
I just loved the I loved the build up to it. I was watching him train. It's fine. I want to have a go. And I'm quite good at pretty much more sports, but I just seem to take to boxing pretty well. My trainer always used to say to me, if you get fit, you can win everything. So that was my problem in the beginning. I liked the fighting. I didn't like the training. So, yeah.
At what point did you go like, okay, I don't like the training, but I think I have to do it?
Do you know what? It took me a few years. Back when I had quite a few fights as a junior, and I was winning them all by stoppage. So I was thinking, well, this is easy. I don't really need to train that much. And then I boxed a guy called Paul Kerr in the Northwest ABAs in the finals. And he beat the hell out of me for 4 rounds. Just pummeled me. He was just, and from that day on, I just thought, you know what I mean? I need to train to be fit because this guy just was non-stop. And it's the first time when I hit someone and he didn't fall over. And I thought, So that's really,
I'm glad he didn't. He didn't rather decide, like, he didn't make you want to leave it, but rather motivated you to work out. Because somebody will go like, I've taken a hell of a beating, and then that's it.
Used to see a lot of lads come in the gym, all big tough guys outside on the street, and then when they get in the boxing ring and they spar and they get punched on the nose, they don't want to know again. Or when they come and have a box, they're winning, they're happy. If they lose, they quit. Never like that for me. I like it all. Winning, obviously I like to win, but I just like being around it all. I liked it all.
Guys, keep going.
I said I'd rather, even though I knew I wasn't fit sometimes when I fought, I just wanted to be around it. I wanted to box. I just, I love doing it. So even though I knew, I thought I shouldn't be doing this. I'm not fit, but it's like a drug.
Right, great. That's the introduction to from my guest Lee Kellett. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, do also subscribe. You can also join us live on Twitter. We are also live on Twitter and live on our Facebook. Now, let's get into when you become a professional and when you started boxing actively. How has the journey been for you since you decided to lock your mind on it?
When I first turned professional, my aim was I had quite a good amateur career. I boxed for my country a couple of times, and I did quite well in the championships. And then when I turned pro, I realised it wasn't about talent anymore. It was about how many tickets you sold. And when I realised the stress of that, I just decided that I was going to go down the other route to start with and just make as much money as I could doing it. So that's generally what I did for a lot of years. I have gloves, will travel, give me a call, I'll just come at the last minute and fight. And then it wasn't until I started boxing really for Bieber that I decided that, you know, I've actually, I wanted to start, you know, I wanted to end my career. I wanted to end it really on seeing how well I could do if I trained hard and had some fair fights. So, and it's been good. It's been good up to now.
Right. I mean, because I checked your statistics. I mean, your records, and I realized that it wasn't. It looks like you were a journeyman before, but if I look at your statistics now, it looks like you've really turned your career around.
I think you have to make the decision, and it suddenly stopped being about money for me, and it was just about getting the right fight. And I didn't want to. I just wanted fair notice, knowing when I'm going to fight, as much notice as him, 50-50, whoever wins. And it's gone pretty well up to now. But I've made quite a bit of money over the British Boxing Board side of it. And then I just decided and I just wanted to see what I could do if I give it 100% for the last few years.
All right, great. How has the audience and the spectatorship in UK supported your career or your sport?
I went down the journeyman route, so I couldn't. Selling tickets was just a big pain to me. I just didn't want to do it. I just tell me where you want me to fight. I'll turn up. I'll have a fight. I get paid. I go home. I was happy. A lot of lads, so many lads in this country don't even sell enough tickets to get a wage themselves. That's how it works here. If you want to be in the home corner, you have to sell enough tickets to pay your opponent, the promoter, and then what's left is your own money. I know lots of lads that are paying for fights out their own pocket because they want to buy wins. So a lot of the records in England, mate, are fake. They bought them. They're not real. You know, that's why if you get a lad who's 10-0 and a lad had 10, won 10, or you fight a lad who's had 10, lost 10, have a look at the pedigree of who he's fought and give them both 6 weeks notice to fight. And 9 times out of 10, the lad who's lost all these fights will win that fight.
Interesting. Wow, that's a real revelation. You know, I'm really glad you shared this with us, because I mean, I think what we see out there is exactly what it is. From what you're saying, if I get it right,
there's so much money to be made, really, if you're willing to be an opponent. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some really good there who I would say have world-class defenses because they fight every week, and there is some superstars out there that they have to fight, and they give them the rounds, they give them the learning and that, and they earn every penny they get. But a lot of the lads that people don't realise, there's lads out there that win hardly any fights that will leave at the end of the career with, might have a bad record, but they'll have a bank full of cash. There's other lads there that might have a nice fancy record, but really that's all he's got to show for it. And the minute he's put in a meaningful fight, he's found out and he's wiped out. Interesting.
I mean, for you, you've been a lot of places in the Europe fighting. Which of the places gave you the best memories?
Greece was really good. We got took to the event in limousines. We were looked after while we were there. Everything was paid for, all your food. It was really good. The event was brilliant. It was on Eurosport, so that was a really good one. I was a reserve on the Prize Fighter in England, which was a big tournament over here for a few years. And I was treated really well there as well. We were given money to spend while we were there waiting, and all our food was paid for, and obviously a big event and that. You're itching to get on the show, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. And you're there in case someone gets injured or can't go into the next round and stuff like that. But them two stand out for me. Like I say, Greek Cyprus was really good. And again, and not only that, in Cyprus, I boxed on the same show as Marius Bradis twice.
Okay.
Who's gone on to be probably one of the best world champions, in the world at the minute.
Right.
And from one of the shows in Cyprus, I got Marius Bradis actually messaged me and wanted me to go and be one of his sparring partners for one of his fights. So that was a big honor, really, as well.
Great. Interesting. I mean, I'm very excited about the revelations I'm getting from this show because everybody especially we in Africa, we look the USA and the UK as being the places where everybody would like to go bust. But this interview has also, I mean, from what you say, I'm gathering the information that, I mean, if your guys also get the opportunity to go fight in places like Cyprus and then in Greece, they should honor it because it's something that they wouldn't regret.
Yeah, I would say go try. I'll be honest with you, most places will treat you really well, but like I say, where I've been, the hotel was fantastic, the way they treat you, the money was good. So I would say, get out of your comfort zone and go try some of these things. I mean, a lot of people don't want to do it because, I mean, and it's rightfully so. If I came to Ghana, which I'm hoping to eventually, because I've had an offer to fight John Napari?
Napari, right. We'll go into that because I know you want to face him.
Yeah, we're getting that, but obviously, if it's a close fight or something, you're probably not going to get the nod. It's going to go to the other guy. And I think that's why a lot of people are afraid to go out of the comfort zone. But, do it. When you're telling your grandkids in a few years' time about what you did, do you really want to tell them, I bought all these wins I've got, I actually bought them. I didn't actually win them fights. I paid for them.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true. How would you want to tell your kids that? I mean, you bought all the fight, but you really, really compete like fairly on it.
Of course. I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. There's some great talent in England, mate, who are the home fighters, who sell tickets, who would go on and even if you said to him you're fighting him next week, they would do great anyway. So, but there's so many in this country that probably have better records than they should have, simply because if you sell the tickets, you'll get the win.
Great. I'm very glad that you finally decided to turn a new leaf and join Biba to turn your career around. I mean, how big has this influence or this new organization that you joined affect your career?
I'll be honest with you, what it was, I decided when I was under the British Boxing Board license, I wanted to have a few fights. I wanted to do the tickets, and I sold for about 3 fights on the run. I sold tickets, and every time they got cancelled, and the last one, I'd ordered a mini bus and had people come in, and the night before they rung me, they'd known for months I was boxing, we can't find you an opponent. And I had to let everybody down again, and it cost me money with a bus. And I just thought, you know what? I know deep in my heart, I'm not going to be a millionaire. I'm not going to go on to be a British, I'm not going to do that. I need to end this where I want to, and doing it under the board, I probably wasn't going to get the chances that I wanted. And at the time, Bieber was NBC, Malta Boxing Council, I think. And I just want to fight, and I decided to go over there. And I'll be honest with you, mate, Lee McAllister has been brilliant for me, really. He's really, he's my manager. And I went over there and I've got the fights that I wanted, and I've done well. As I say, I don't think I would have been able to finish like I wanted to I had to leave for it. And I try and tell people, the British Boxing Board, they are the Premier League in England. That, if you want to be classed as the British champ or the UP, you have to win it in the British. That's just the way it is. Everyone knows that. They are the lads over there. The goal for talent's massive. But Bieber, I would say now, about first division, championship, they're just a little bit behind, but they're getting there and they're growing. And I honestly think that eventually they're fighting it, but they're just going to have to share it like other countries, that not everyone's going to want to do it under the, British Boxing Board are going to have to admit that there's other people that can offer pro boxing to people. But as I say, at the minute, they are the Premier League, but Bieber's doing well. They're getting there.
Right, great. And at Bieber, you formed your own promotions company with your own friend, Callum Pearson. Yep. How is it going?
It's going great, mate. We've finished with Callum. He's got all the talent in the world. I honestly believe Callum could be a champion under the British Boxing Board.
That's very true. He's very true.
He's a brilliant amateur.
He's a very fantastic boxer. I've checked after the first time I spoke to him. After that, I checked his videos. I was like, how is this guy not even a champion in his own country?
What it is with Callum is he loses he's got his kids and his family, and he loses interest sometimes. And I keep trying to tell him I don't want him to waste all the talent he's got, you know. So we got together and we had a little chat, and Callum decided that Bieber suited him better, and you know, because me and Callum used to train together. We used to travel to Morecambe every week together, and so we just decided the next best thing, why don't we just put on our own show? So we got together, and you know, I'll be honest. You know, everyone wants to come and watch him do well on that. So it was kind of like I was happy to do it, and I could jump on and get my wins at the same time as you know, as Callum selling the shows out, really.
Right. And you guys did a very brilliant show the last time before COVID-19. You had some Ghanaians there to come compete. I mean, how was the first experience for you?
It was the first show. The first show was the biggest stress in the world, and I found out I had shingles after I fought. I was ill.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got really ill for it. I mean, when I went to the doctors, he said I had a high blood pressure, and he only passed me because he thought I was stressed out because of the promotion, because it was my show.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd had rashes leading up to it. When I went to the doctors, I found out I'd had shingles. I was just getting over it. So it was a bad experience in regards to fight night for me first time, but show-wise, you know, we did really well. And then that was just kind of like the second show, I think, was just 100 times better. It was brilliant. It was a lot less stress. And unfortunately, just as we thought we were just getting there, and then the next show was going to be even bigger. And then obviously COVID came along and stopped us in our tracks, really.
Right. Talking about COVID, you are one of the guys that has really affected the family, especially your brother, like your cousin, right?
It's my cousin's husband, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I'll be honest with you. I followed every rule under this COVID thing, but as we've got on, we've had different messages, and you start thinking, is it true? Is it as bad as they say it is? So I'll be honest with you, hands up. I believe it's been obviously because I've had family at it.
Right.
How bad it is in regards to what the government are telling us, I'm not sure whether they're just trying to scare us, but in regards to experience-wise, my cousin's husband, as fit as a fiddle, used to go biking. He's only, you know, a young guy. And then he got COVID bad and ended up in a coma for 7 weeks.
Oh, so sorry. Did he eventually make it?
Yeah, he's come round and he's back to doing everything he normally does now. He's recovered. But so from that point of view, I know it's here, and I know it can be serious, because obviously my cousin went through hell for 7 weeks, hoping that he'd come off he went on a ventilator and then he was still struggling, so they had to put him in a coma in the end. And 7 weeks he was there for, yeah.
All right, we thank God that he was able to make it, and now everything is fine back home. Now, I'll take you back to the promotion side, right? When you guys promoted, you had 2 Ghanaians on the show, like I was saying. You had Nuhu faced you yourself, and then Callum also had his own opponent. I mean, what is your assessment of the guys that you faced?
I know people give Nahu a bit of stick and that, but I always say we have to remember, Ghana is that's a long way to travel.
That's true.
A strange country.
True.
You know, it's a big flight. You're staying in a strange place, strange food. But it's easy for people to criticize. You know what I mean? So from that point of view, I can only take my hat off to him. And Daniel on the other hand, again, was just, I think he was fantastic and just made a brilliant fight with Callum that the crowd loved. And so for me personally, I can only take my hat off to the lads, because it's a hard thing to do.
True.
People can criticize him and say they're not this, that, or the other. Well, then you come over and you show them how it's done. Then, if you're so good.
True. Guys, I can't leave without saying some things that this guy there and then Callum has done for these fighters in Ghana. They're really, really taking care of them. Even during the COVID-19, Kellett approached me on how he wanted to help some Ghanaian fighters in Ghana. We wanted to do some collaboration and find a way to help them, but we couldn't do that because of the activities and the mishappenings and things that were happening with the COVID-19. But apart from that, him and Callum has taken care of Daniel and Nuhu since they came in. For that, I'm very, very thankful to you guys for looking out for my African brothers when they came there. We don't really get to hear we don't really get to hear promoters take care of fighters after the fight. But for you guys, what you guys did is something that will go down in the memory of these boys for life. And on behalf of them, I would like to say a very big thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Me and Callum were happy to help. And as I say, hopefully, if the fight that I got offered comes off and I get to come to Ghana, I'd love to be, I've said then I'd love to come and and do some stuff for people while I'm over there visiting, you know what I mean? Provide people with bits of equipment and school stuff and things like that, you know what I mean? It's, as Callum said on the show, you don't kind of realise how blessed we have it until you see what other people come from.
That's true. That's true. Now let's talk about the show that was supposed to happen in Aberdeen that got called off. I could see you were so pissed. The next day I saw you make the comments. I was like, "What's happening to this guy? Man, what did they do? What happened?"
I'm still getting abuse off them. Like, they think I called it off. I'm like, it's nothing to do with me. I'll be honest with you. I was training away. I looked on the website to just check. I think I was checking the shows and that, and I looked, and it was a brand new show. New fighters, new fights, and I was taken off it. I hadn't even been told. Now, I know how boxing works. It's money and it has to be the right people, etc., etc. But like I said, would it hurt them? They had plenty of time to do a new show and put it on the website, but they didn't have 2 minutes just to drop me a message and just say, "Oh, you're not fighting now." So I had to tell everybody, and then I've just got abuse for it non-stop.
Right. What do you make of this attitude of some promoters who do these things?
I understand Aberdeen's been put back in lockdown, you see.
Okay.
So I think the problem they've thought is they're going to struggle flying people in.
Okay.
So I totally understand that from a business side, and I understand they've got nothing to do with the COVID. But sometimes, it's not hard, is it, to just 2 minutes to let somebody know. As I say, training costs me money because I have to go away to train. I have to pay for other things and that. And they're actually, "Oh, you should be training anyway." Well, I do train all the time, but when I've got a fight coming, I'll pick it up and I'll do physio and I'll do swimming and what I eat changes and things like that and things. So, I don't want to. Well, promote end of the day, a lot of promoters. I don't think the promoters are a problem in regards to it. It's nothing to do with I don't think it's a bad thing. At the end of the day, I just think sometimes, maybe they don't think of the bigger picture. It would have took 2 minutes just to let me know. And I didn't need a reason because I know how boxing works. It's just a simple message, you're not fighting now. Right,
great. I mean, before you go, I would like to know if there were some kind of people who helped to make the promotions happen on the last show.
Yeah, wow, and I can't remember, but there's Jonathan Walsh's gym. He does loads for us. He helps us loads. My permanent sponsor, Flex Appeal. There's Martin Williams, who does my physio. I think Callum's got some others, so I'm sorry if I forget them because I'm not too sure who they are. I've got Jolly Bears, CBT oil. I think there was Ads Roofing that helps us. There's a list I would have had it if I know, but there were so many people, and I have to say, if I forgot yet or you did help, a massive thank you, because honestly, if it wasn't for other people sponsoring and helping us, the shows just wouldn't happen. They cost an absolute fortune, mate.
There's a little boy in UK who is under you guys, Quincy Taylor.
Right. Is that?
That'll be okay. That'll be Callum's side. I wanted to get your opinion about the fighter because it's a very young talent.
Again, that's probably I'm not with the COVID thing. We've struggled. We haven't really spoke a great deal and everything like that. So, but if he's come under our banner and Callum's given the go ahead, mate, then he's got to be a good one. Yeah.
Great. Now, before the COVID, you guys were talking about a possible fight with Nampari.
Yeah.
I mean, is the fight going to happen after the COVID-19? Do you still have plans of fighting?
I believe it was meant to happen in June or July, and then I've had a message since then asking me will I still be up for it for Boxing Day. And then I spoke to, I forget forget who the gentleman's name is who deals with Ghana boxing, and he just said it could still happen, but again, it's out of their hands. It's more to do with what people can come in and out and things like a COVID situation again, really. So fingers crossed it happens. So it's I mean, I've heard what's his name who I boxed last? Nahu is his name.
Yeah,
Nahu.
Yeah.
I had someone messaging me telling me he wants a rematch for me, and I think they all just want to beat me up again. I think.
Great. But before you go, I know there's an Argentinian boxer who was also in line for your title.
Who's this?
An Argentina boxer.
Oh yes, sorry. And again, I'm terrible with names, so you'll have to forgive me.
Yeah. Right.
I believe he's fighting the number 1 and number 2 Argentina are fighting for the PBC Latin title,
right? For
the Latino title, and then the plan hopefully will be I will face the winner.
Oh, okay. So the only thing we have to wait is and pray that the COVID-19 thing goes down, so that things.
Well, I believe they're fighting in October.
Oh, okay, October.
So if a fight was to happen between us, again, I'd imagine it's either going to be at the end of the year or that'll be me done now until next year, and maybe do a 2-show thing where I would go to them once and then they would come to me once. Maybe I don't. Or maybe it'll be held in somewhere neutral. I'm not too sure, but that was what I got told the plan would be. Once they fight, I would face the winner, but where it's going to be, I'm not too sure.
All right, Lee, I'm very, very thankful for making time for us to make this show happen, and I wish you well. And we hope to see. I mean, you return in the ring very, very soon. Because I know with you being your own promoter as well, you have plans. It's just the COVID-19. We're just making things not happen.
I have, but I'm fighting time here, mate, because I'm getting on in years. And
right.
I was hoping this was going to be my last year. I was going to have a really good last year.
Oh,
and it looks like we're going to have to add another year onto it. So I'm 42 next month.
Yeah. So I'm not. For me, I felt really glad that you had a promotions company. It's a form of like giving back to the people that can also achieve their aim through boxing.
Yeah, it's good. It's been really good to be able to help people, and basically as well, it's been good to bring the shows, I guess, that me and Callum were struggling to get without having to do 1,000 tickets for somebody to fill somebody else's pockets. Well, we can do it now, and it's under. We can pick and choose titles and fights and rounds and opponents. And I mean, the good thing with Callum is that you get with Callum as well. He just will not accept anyone that he just won't. He's like I was telling you before. If I say to Callum, do you want an easy fight this time? No, he just won't have it. He just you're going to get barnstormers, and because Callum won't take an easy fight, I can't take someone easy. So it just means great fights for the show as well.
All right, great. So for anybody who's be able to watch this tape after this interview, and anybody who's watching now, what would you tell the person if the person wants to get in touch with you and to fight on your shows? Just
message me, Callum. Again, all it is if you message us and it makes sense, because that's sometimes, some people have talked to us, and unfortunately, we don't have a bottomless pit of money, and that we can't always bring everyone in that we would like to, and that. But if people would like to come here, and like I said, Callum wants good fights, I want good fights, and that. So just drop me or Callum a line, and if it can be done, we're more than happy to do it.
All right, guys. Thank you very much once again for coming on the show. And we wish you well, and we hope to catch you very, very soon.
Lovely. Thanks for speaking to me.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, guys. Thanks for making time to watch the show. My guest on the show was was Lee Kellett, a cruiserweight boxer in the UK. He's done a lot of things for the sport in the UK, and he's trying to give back. Like he said, if you want to be on their show, send him a message. He himself or Callum Pearson. Just look for the name Lee Kellett, or that Callum Pearson himself has even commented on this post. So you can just look on the name. Or the comment section, and then take his name and then send him a message. If they can do it, like you said, if they can, they'll get you on the show, and then you come compete. Callum, thank you for the message. And then Francis Kovac, thank you also for the message. So guys, this is how we end the show for this week. We'll be back, God willing, next week with another set of boxers or people in boxing to interview. Until then, have a very great weekend and take a very good care of yourself. Goodbye.